Party Crashers, what's going on? It's me, it's Steve. You know what it is. I shaved my mustache. Because I'm sad, but not that sad. Oh, shit. Hang on a second. Why is it always... okay. Going live. One second. If you're here, say hello. I got my new camera here, and it's kind of driving me nuts. What's everybody doing today? God damn it, why is it forcing me to have volume? I don't want... Hey, what's up, Sprout? It better... Making bracelets and drawing. How about you? That sounds like a good day. That's kind of what I'm doing too, actually, to be honest with you. One second. I'm trying to fix my freaking camera because... I don't know why StreamYard is forcing me to have volume, but it's kind of pissing me off. Hey, everybody, if you're in the chat, say hello. I'm just starting out my stream right now. I got the watercolor cam set up. What's up, everybody? If you're on Instagram, get your ass over to not Instagram. It's a little hard to make a living on a Mark Zuckerberg platform, especially if you're an outspoken critic of fascism like I happen to be. But if you like Donald Trump, then by all means, go ahead and stick with it. I'm sure it'll do well for you. All right, we're doing a... golf does suck. Actually, I know some people that golf. My brother golfs. I like my brother. He's cool. He does not suck. But, you know, it's all about the headlines these days. Actually, what I was talking about with that is if you haven't seen the Calloway golf ad, it's pretty gross. I'll pull it up here. But my argument for that is that they did it on purpose. They didn't care. They just wanted to sell golf clubs. And the best way to... listen, if you're doing golf, okay... yeah, exactly. It's awful. These guys are pieces of shit. Think about golf, though. Golf has never had a problem with being a huge piece of shit. They're just leaning back into the origin story. This is just a throwback of golf culture. You know, I mean, this is the sport of madmen. Like, they don't care about misogyny. Is it supposed to be like, oh, hey, you know, we're really sorry about that. They didn't care. You don't think that you don't think that Callaway Golf has a PR team? anybody who's looking at history, the history of the sport of golf, I mean, the only two people that hadn't desegregated America by the 1980s are the Mormon Church. Actually, I think the Mormon Church might have been the 1970s. But there were many golf courses in America up until like the 90s that wouldn't allow Jewish people or people of color. It was basically like the only place that was legal to continue to do, like, I don't know. People are like, oh, it's this virtuous sport. It's like, I mean, I have no problem with people that golf who enjoy the hobby, but like the culture, like the power structures in golf, like, get out of town. Like, if you think that golf is above reproach when it comes to internalized misogyny, like if you think that, oh, like, well, their PR team was afraid of the blowback. No, they weren't. I know a guy who used to here, let's look at this commercial here. Let's just start off with the bullshit of the day. Here, hang on a second. Let me get my screen up here real quick. Calloway, share. Boom. Okay. So we got the watercolor cam. I don't really like this layout. I'm gonna have to do better. Let's see here. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. Okay, so we got the driver. It's a good driver. This is what we're doing. The Good Studios presents.
Do not touch my new driver.
Okay, that was uncomfortable. Like, that just made me feel uncomfortable. 1978, thank you, Sprout. Let it rip. I don't know what that means, but Crimson Bolt, but no, it icks me the fuck out too. It's creepy as hell. It's creepy as hell. And it's like, yeah, that just makes me uncomfortable. Like, that guy should get a restraining order put out against him, because that's assault. What he just did is assault. He just assaulted somebody. If somebody did that to me on a golf course, I would be like, you just assaulted me. But you know what's going to happen? My theory is that the reason why they didn't, like, people are like, they vetted this and they let this happen. I can't believe it. I can believe it. Think about the president of the United States. Okay? Think about the president of the United States of America right now. If he has proven one thing, he has proven that if you say something gross, oh, what's up, chicken nuggies? This is what's icky. I'll just play it again because I'm going to be talking about it for the next, like, 5 minutes. Hang on. Oops. Oh, we have a live. We're going to do a live premiere of So yeah, no, this is my theory on the Callaway golf commercial. Some asshole, well, one of these assholes, these guys are apparently like very famous golf influencers or something. They're very important in the broosphere of golf. My theory on this is for you to completely disregard. There's no proof in this, but I bet you somebody in the marketing department thought, you know, this is the most over-advertised to under-funded generation in human history, right? The wealth disparity in this country is insane, right? There is very little money at the bottom and the middle. Exactly. Oh, Crimson Bolt. That's not a funny joke. You're on, hey, Sprout, Crimson Bolt has a warning. Drivers cost a lot of money. Yeah, all right, whatever. You're in timeout now. You're a fucking child. It's not funny. We don't make any misogyny jokes here. We don't put we don't do misogyny, racism, homophobia, any of that shit. I'm going to ban you, or I will put you in therapy and then I'll ban you. I will just look at your name. There was a guy named Slate Cutter, 1979, and I literally dressed him down so thoroughly that by the end of my vitriolic tirade directed at him and the fact that unions had he could not be a slate cutter anymore because he was MAGA, he was apologizing to me. So the thing with the Calloway golf commercial is, I guarantee, well, I don't guarantee it, but I bet you there was somebody in the marketing department that said, hey, no one's buying anything anymore because we've made it too expensive because we have quarterly earnings reports that never stop coming. Okay? And so somebody said, what if we made a commercial that pissed people off so that 1/3 of the people who may be decent people who just happen to enjoy golf, they're not gonna buy anything from us, but they already probably have a bunch of clubs, and it's like a television. They're not gonna buy another set for like 7 years, so it'll blow over. But what if there are some people that are thinking, I don't like my wife. I like escaping to go to the golf course, and I really want to buy a new driver, but we can't really afford it, and she's gonna yell at me. What if we made the internet so angry, rightfully, because we casually depicted violence against women? What if the idiots who were also misogynists and use golf as a way to neglect people that they really don't deserve to their love? What if they said, you know what? Yeah, why don't we just activate those idiots and make them want to buy our golf clubs? What if we get people pissed off who can't afford our golf clubs, who are already pissed off, which is part of the reason why they golf, to escape. They go and get drunk. They have like 18 beers, and they're like, yep, I golf all the time. What if that was the reason why this commercial wasn't vetted? I mean, come on, people. I'm not saying that it couldn't have just been an idiot. This is the problem. This is what you have to do, okay? This is important. This is important. This is very important, okay? The reason why we are in this situation, and as in situation I mean fascism in the United States, is because we have treated our enemies as incompetent, but not malicious. There's an old rule. There's an old rule. Never attribute to malice what you can ascribe to incompetence. I think it's very important that we... Oh, hey, I'm going to allow that. Oh, what's up, Chonky Chonk? Oh, I went to school with this guy. Hey, why are we auto-modding? Oh, shit, no! I accidentally auto-modded him. No, undo. No, Chonky Chonk. I went to school with that guy. Son of a bitch. Shit. My bad, Mike. Stand by. No. Okay, I'll send him my YouTube. Son of a bitch. This guy I went to school with. I accidentally banned you. Ugh, God. All right, sorry. Yeah, the automod sucks. This is my guy right here. I've known this guy since I've known him for 25 years. I think I've known him. Yeah, I've known him for 25 years. I'm old. No, I've known him for like 30 years. Because I'm 37. I knew that guy in the 90s. So anyways, where was I? Okay, cool. So here's the thing, right? I know this from experience because I've been in commercials before. Actually, I think Chonky Chonk has too. Mike has. Yeah, we've known each other for over 30 years. Okay, Mike's an actor too. Mike knows what it's like to be on a set. So let me pull up my commercial, and I'll tell you why I think that this happened with this commercial that they did here. I don't think it happened because of this. I just know that personally I knew that the brand was very happy when this happened. Because I was in this commercial. I'm going to show it to you right now. Hang on a second. Where the where is it? Do I have to go to their stupid Instagram? No, I like their Instagram. I like Champagne of Beers region. Here we go. Okay, that's going to be an important one to go to. All right, sorry. This is going to have a payoff, I swear to God. Just give me a minute here, okay? I promise you. It's all going to be worth it one day. Verway, tell him I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this shit for like 15 years. I know how to build suspense. No, but the Champagne of Beers region thing I'm going to show you. I was in a Miller High Life commercial. I'm an actor. And basically what happened was we did this commercial. The gag was Miller High Life is the Champagne of Beers. So therefore, in Milwaukee, we are going to name the region the Champagne of Beers region around the brewery. And so they did. And then there was a different result than they had expected, but it actually turned out pretty good. So here we go. Where is the fucking video? All right. Well, I was in this commercial. I can't find the actual commercial, but it was a good one. So I was in a commercial. It's called the Champagne of Beers region. It was me talking about don't tell me it's a Cheddar Goblin commercial. No. It was not. No, it was not that either, Mike. That's what makes it his so professional. Yeah. So it was the Champagne of Beers region commercial, and basically what happened was I was in there, and Miller High Life was doing this whole gag where I was like the ambassador to the Champagne of Beers region, and what they did was after that, I pulled up the YouTube clip. There was this weird thing that happened afterwards that I didn't know. It sparked an international incident, but I'm trying to frame the commercial for you because it is an actual perfect illustration of what I meant by what I said. Would Calloway could have very well done this intentionally in order to spark outrage, because it's not about selling golf clubs to people that are pissed off about the fact that that commercial is obviously disgusting. It's about making people angry enough to buy a golf club, because people are stupid and they will buy something or destroy something. In the case of Bud Light, they will destroy something in order to they will use anger in order to justify waste. And capitalism doesn't give a fuck, because all it cares about is its shareholders report. God, this is like fucking my this is like the 90s, Mike, remember? Or not the 90s, the early aughts. Remember when we used to do like hipster bars and like bad tattoos? Like there we go. No offense to whoever's tattoo that is. Anyways, I can't find the commercial. Here's the I'm just going to give up on the commercial. I bought 300 golf clubs after that ad. Didn't realize I was so angry. Mike, are you going to come on stream sometime? You can talk about like fitness, and you're funny, man. I mean, here we go. Thank God.
Of the Champagne of Beers region. Become the first ambassador of the Champagne of Beers region.
Okay, cool. So this is the whole ad. Champagne can only come from one place. Champagne, France.
So why is the Champagne of Beers any
Accordion
different?
hands.
Introducing Champagne of Beers, Wisconsin. America's newest beer region. With your help, only beers invented here, inside these very specific borders around the Miller Brewery, will be considered a champagne of beers. Over here, it's just a beer. Kevin, this is incredible.
Thank you. And look, it's you.
Nice. Because a beer this bubbly and crisp couldn't have come from anywhere else. And we'd like to keep it that way. Show your support by signing our petition. And while you're at it, why not take a shot at becoming our region's first ambassador? Keep in mind, these...
All right, you get the idea. Take a look at what happened, though. Okay, this is actually what happened because the ad agency...
France, of course, famous for its Champagne region, similar to the way Milwaukee is known for its beer.
And as Christina Van Zelst explains, Milwaukee is popping bottles to celebrate a newly designated region here in the Brew City.
We're all celebrating and drinking Miller High Life right now.
It's a celebration that calls for a toast. Milwaukee Common Council passing a resolution that designates a portion of West State Street in the Miller Brewery grounds as the Champagne of Beers region.
Just like Champagne has its own territory in France, the Champagne of Beers needed its own.
Okay, so they liked the commercial so much. Wisconsin. They liked the commercial so much, they designated the brewery around the Champagne of Beer regions.
Very specific borders would be considered the Champagne of Beers.
This comes after Miller High Life pushed for a tourist destination that celebrates the high life. After thousands of Wisconsinites signed a petition, it's official.
Not only does it help to elevate, reinforce what the Champagne of Beers, Miller High Life is all about, but it also helps Milwaukee.
Okay, cool. You get the idea. They actually named a region the Champagne of Beers region. Now, this is the end of this. Now, wait, hang on a second. I'm going to tell you about how I found out about the end of this story, okay? So, yeah, no, it is actually very cool. It was marketing. It was very smart marketing. Now, this is over a year later, okay? I'm in an audition for a Rakuten commercial that's going to star Stephen Curry, and I get a call back, and it's a golf commercial, and I suck at golf. But the director was on the call back, and this is what he told me. Hey, what's up, Paulie B? You just missed my, Here, this is me in a Miller High Life commercial. I'm the Champagne of Beers ambassador, okay? But we're talking about how the Calloway golf commercial could have been an intentional thing that they knew was going to piss people off. So here's the thing, okay? They rename the Champagne of Beer regions, the Miller Brewery, the Champagne of Beer regions. I am in a callback for a commercial with Stephen Curry. I didn't get the part, but the director said, "Hey, did you see what happened?" And I said, "What?" And he's like, "Do you remember me?" And it was the director from the Champagne of Beer commercial I just showed you. And he's like, "This is a year later." And he's like, "Did you see what happened in Belgium? They're really, really happy, though, because this happened." And then this is what I found out. He sent me the link. I did not get the Stephen Curry commercial, but this is what happened. They poured out 30,000 cans of Miller High Life because they had to protect the word champagne. Isn't that crazy? See, and they did it specifically because for years, Champagne of Beer slogan.
Il y a plusieurs cannes de bière qui ont été saisies par la douane. La raison est l'appellation atelier.
They use the Champagne of Beers region. They use the region Champagne.
Et ça, c'est
and they flipped.
Contraire à la réglementation européenne dans la région du Champagne. Le nom Champagne, pour autant qu'ils sont.
You can't.
Sont pas produits dans la région du Champagne.
So basically, this is good. This is what happens when you have good advertising. Okay? See, it's a protected destination of origin, can be treated as counterfeit goods. No, it wasn't. Yeah, no, it was very stupid of the Belgians. They did Miller High Life a huge favor. So, true origin of quality of artisanal food and wine and spirits. It's the dumbest thing in the fucking world because it's the Streisand effect. It's the same reason why they can't cancel Hassan. So, my point is that with this Calloway ad, and by the way, the reason why this guy had found out about it is because Miller High Life was super happy about that. They were super excited that this ad that we made a year ago, which was not union, by the way. I wasn't in the Screen Actors Guild yet. But it got replayed so often, and it like sparked the whole international incident. They were stoked because Miller doesn't need oh, okay, got to get back to work. All right, Chance, take it easy. We're glad you're employed. They still had to buy the beer. That's right, Scott. You don't blame him, Smokey? All right, I can take that. Take it easy, Chance. Have a great stream, bro. Or great day at work. Streaming is my job now. So, yeah, so that's why I think the Callaway people, they knew what they were doing. They knew that this commercial was going to spark outrage. And they knew that if they sparked outrage, there may be a chance of the fact that in the most wealth unequal country in the entire United States, you got to take my dog on a walk before I drink 12 ounces of last week for a 4K video of my Colin tomorrow. Oh, Mike, 37. Yeah, I know. We're twins, brother. Take it easy, man. Candlelight prayer worked. What? Manuel, let's go, baby. Yeah. Boom. This is my audition candle, bro. This is for my auditions. When I have a big audition, I light this baby right here. I also, let's go, Manuel. Baby. Manuel got the job. Manuel got the job. Manuel got the job. But we blessed him up. Let's go. Woo. Let's go, baby. We have reason to celebrate, Manuel. Let's go, dude. Hell yeah. Everybody show Manuel some love. In this economy, fuck yeah, dude. Let's go. That's good-ass news, man. I'm happy. Dude, you don't know. This is the best. This is the best thing about streaming, okay? I have like 250,000 followers on TikTok. I have 100,000 on Instagram. I have never felt as happy as I felt right now when Manuel came in and said, that stupid thing you did yesterday. Oh, let's go, Manuel. Congratulations, dude. That's what's up. Machine operator, pours amenity job. Let's go. Big W. This is the best I've ever felt creating content. This is the best I've ever felt creating content. Or whatever, like doing comedy. I don't call it content creation. But I am so happy for you, Manuel. That, and the fact that you came back and said, and you told us that great news, I'm making a watercolor for you right now because that is good shit. Congratulations. That makes me feel so good. I got goosebumps. Thank you for sharing that good news. That's what it's all about, party people. That's what it's all about. It's all about. Now we got to thank the, all right, big ups to Patrick Stewart. Thank you for taking care of our guy, Manuel. He's going to be a machine operator. He's going to be very good, very safe. He's going to make buku bucks. There we go. That's the candle. That's a Patrick Stewart audition candle. If you ever have a job or you got a job, you got a big interview, you got to go take somebody on a date, you know, we'll do a blessing for you, okay? We'll do a blessing. This is a tradition, all right? It says right here. A modest man never talks to himself. Modest person never talks to himself. We got to believe in something, so we believe in Patrick Stewart in this house. That Jesus is from my grandmother's kitchen. I believe in her too. May she rest in peace. She's sitting right there on my little picture. Let's go. What's up? First Rule Nick, what's going on? Larry, it's good to see you. It's not Larry Hoover, is it? So anyways, we were just talking about the Callaway golf commercial, which was pretty I think that they did it on purpose. It's an inside job. They did it on purpose so they could spark outrage. I'm not sure what to think about the rest of it. But you know, we're just humming along here. we actually set up a Buy Me a Coffee. I'll drop the link. But, you know, the best thing that you can do right now, New Religion just dropped. Thank you, Chicken Nuggies. I would suggest if, you know, I'm not going to do a cult. Valenti should, though. I think I would join Valenti's cult. If Chris did a cult, I would do that. Yes, Dolly Parton did die. We should talk about that for a second because I think Dolly Parton is a very textbook example of how celebrity is, I don't think, a good thing. I don't think fame helps anybody. Like, personally, I don't think it really is. It's a disservice to, you know, people think that they can act like shit or whatever. I have nothing against anybody famous. I know a lot of people that are, like, accomplished in their career and, like, people that, Valenti has a cult. It's called Loyalists. Okay, that's, I thought it was, he would have what a goober. Let's see here. So Dolly Parton, are you fucking kidding me? Oh, fuck you. It's just Sinclair Broadcasting. Okay, so Dolly Parton had a reading program that she never bragged about. She created a literacy program that gave free books to children every month. It grew from a local effort in Tennessee into one of the world's largest childhood reading initiatives. The Imagination Library began in 1995 in Sevier County, Tennessee, where Parton grew up. The program was created to help children gain access to books at an early age. Under the program, children received an age-appropriate book by mail each month from birth until age 5. Supporters say the initiative helps build home libraries, encourages family reading habits, and promotes kindergarten readiness among young learners. The initiative also expanded across Ohio, where local organizations, school districts, libraries, and nonprofit groups partnered to help bring free books to children in communities throughout the state. Supporters have frequently cited the program as a way to improve early childhood literacy and close gaps in access to books. Reading advocates often describe Parton's legacy work as one of her most lasting accomplishments. While she earned Grammys, sold more than 100 million records, and built a global entertainment brand, many educators argued her effort to put books into the hands of children may ultimately affect generations of families. Even as tributes pour in following Parton's death, the book program she championed continues operating. For many parents, teachers, and children, the monthly arrival of free books may stand as one of the most enduring reminders of a performer whose influence stretched beyond music and entertainment. That, folks, oh. Hey, what's up, Lucy? So, Dolly Parton's reading program changed the game, okay? It's called Imagination Library. I'm going to pull up the website here. So, this is the, let's see here. Let me pull it up, though, you idiot. You got to pull it up, Steve. Jeez. So, she has given 332 million books to 3,197,250 kids. And basically what it said in the article is that Dolly Parton, she was genuinely a good person. You're right, Smokey Mirror. Dolly Parton, we're going to make one for Dolly today. Manuel, I'm going to make a I got to make one for Manuel too, because it's good news, but then there's also bad news. So, Manuel, the universe. Okay, so you're gonna be a machinist, right? So, Dolly Parton delivered 300 million books to kids, and you could go, it's my favorite part of her legacy too, because it's like actually something that will make, music is beautiful, art is important, all that stuff. But I guarantee Dolly Parton would have been happy if she had just remained like a working musician in Tennessee. Like, it would have been, because she's just humble. Like, Anybody who spends 31 years giving free books to kids, one free book a month from kids ages 0 to 5. Do you know how many Americans read a full book last year? You know what percentage of Americans did? A full book. At least one book. You know what it is? Anybody want to take a guess? 48%. Only 48% of Americans read a full book last year. Okay? So, can you imagine how bad that would have been if she didn't do this? Can you imagine? It's bad. It's bad. But Dolly Parton, she left it a little bit better than she found it. And that's what it's really all about, party crashers. That's what it's about. I used to work in a warehouse. I was 15 years old. I worked in a warehouse. Oh, why is my camera frozen? Did I run out of battery? Oh, no. Okay. It's still there. That's the thing, party crashers. It's just about leading it a little bit better than you found it. That's what I learned in a warehouse when I first started working in a warehouse. That's really the only thing I ever needed to learn. That's higher than I'd have guessed. And that's what Dolly Parton understood. Let me see what a machinist is. I got to find something to draw. Manual. Let's see here. Machinist, operator. Let's see here. What are we doing? It's a good job. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, this is good shit here. All right, perfect. We have to commemorate this. This is a good occasion. I'm really excited. Yo, this dude speaks French. Hey, what's up, Mike? With the fart? No, one of our community members, Manuel, he got a job as a machine operator. He came on our stream last night. He was nice enough to share that he had a job interview today, and he was hoping to get the job and go to orientation. And he came in today. Chicken nuggies. Come on, it's not that cynical. You were only off 6%. Yeah, so Manuel got a job. He got the job. We lit a candle. We lit my Patrick Stewart candle. Mike. And it worked. Well, I don't know. It didn't work. I mean, it's just Manuel's a talented, capable guy. I'm in a very, everybody knows. Like, I started this stream right around a time when I didn't know it, but there were a lot of big life changes that were coming my way. And then in July, boom. Yeah, Lucy, it's great. It's such good news. So we had a W. We had a W today. Now we're talking about Dolly Parton's reading program. Manuel, you worked. We just noticed it, baby. We knew how special you were. That's the thing. What do we always say in the stream? What do we always say? You look at yourself in the mirror every day, you say, I'm enough. I have enough. And even if I don't have enough, I will because I'm enough. Right? We don't ask why. We ask how. We don't ask why bad shit's happening to us. We just say, how are we going to get through it? And then that's what happens. We show up. We kick the shit out of an interview. And then we get the job and we're showing up to orientation. Gives me hope, which we all desperately need now. I mean, yesterday we were learning about, Hakeem Jeffries meeting Jared Kushner. Today, the Democratic Party is Fairway, you don't even know my politics. I just realized that. We haven't talked in so long. I'm like a weirdo lefty guy. So let me see. Where is it? Okay, there we go. What are your thoughts on hope versus faith? My thoughts on hope versus faith. I think that they're same side, two sides of the same coin. It's like kind of like quantum mechanics and the first 7 days in the Bible or whatever. It doesn't matter. I think hope is something that everybody shares, regardless of whether or not you believe in something larger than yourself. And faith is something that you believe if you have a sense of something larger than yourself. Now, I think that there are a lot of people who would say they have hope but actually have faith. And I think if you ask them, oh, do you believe in anything? They would say, no, I'm an atheist. But, you know, I consider like my community is something larger than me. I believe in my community when I don't believe in myself. Right? I believe in my neighbors. You know, during Operation Midway Blitz in Chicago, when ICE was basically kidnapping my neighbors, and you know, I was in the signal chats where we were all trying to spot. Yeah, Mike is like me. Yeah, you should share it on stream sometime. Hey, Aunt Joanne. It's my aunt. What was I talking about? I got psyched out. I forgot that I was in a room with somebody. I was talking about hope. I was talking about faith. Oh, I was talking about community. I was talking about Operation Midway Blitz, and like there were these guys who were replacing lead pipes on my street in Chicago. I may have told the story before, but yes, ICE in the signal chats. Thank you. Okay. So what I was saying about hope versus faith is that a lot of people who have hope actually have faith because they have hope because their community gives it to them, which I would argue is actually faith. I don't think that whatever you name something larger than yourself, whether it be God, whether it be quantum mechanics or Newtonian physics or whatever it is, like, it doesn't matter. It's like the only thing that matters is, like, is it about me or is it about we? You know what I'm saying? And so if you have a we in your life, then you have faith. You could have faith in, you know, your spouse or your partner or your dog. So it's really, faith is just about not being alone. And oftentimes people that are religious turn to their God or creator or whatever when they feel like there's nobody else. So, yeah, no, so when I was at Operation Midway Blitz, I wasn't in it. I was there, and a lot of my friends were protesting it, and, you know, there were a lot of people that were rightfully, we were all, I mean, we were scared because, you know, we were in the signal chats, and we knew how many ICE vehicles there were. There were all these different vehicles with different types of license plates. So for basically, like, 2.5 months, there were people in Chicago who were going on patrols, wearing whistles, and, you know, they were patrolling, you know, and I'd gone on a few of these things where I was walking around with a whistle, and if I saw ICE, I would have to blow the whistle. And, you know, it's really not that big of a deal for me because it was only 3 months of my life on the south side of Chicago. That's how people live their entire lives, right? So that really gives you a different perspective when it comes to, like, young person of color that's been assassinated by the police department, and then the police department says something like, oh, but the cop had PTSD. It's like, they never say that about the victim of police violence. They never say that about black and brown men who have literally grown up their entire lives being afraid of the people that movies and TV and politicians say that are supposed to protect us. So, yeah, but I only had 3 months when ICE was roaming around the neighborhood, and there were these dudes on my street that were replacing lead pipes for the city of Chicago. And they were all Spanish speaking. I know because I speak Spanish. And so I would go out in front of the house every day, and I would just say, like, hey, like, just want to let you know, like, we're keeping an eye out. I live over here. You guys can run up the stairs or whatever. Oh, hey, Lucy. We're talking about Operation Midway Blitz, and we're talking about how faith doesn't necessarily have to be faith in God. It can be faith in your community. And I was giving an example of how in Operation Midway Blitz, I really got a sense of, like, what it was like being a citizen of a community, like being a member of a community, because the community, and I'm getting worked up just talking about it, because the community was really the only ones who were standing up to these guys. And, you know, they would show up, and there would be 10s, 20s of people Yeah, I was. I mean, I was not a Mexican, but I was friends with a lot of Mexican people who we only spoke Spanish. So, but yeah, when these guys were showing up every day to do their job in Chicago, replacing lead pipes so that I had clean drinking water, and they knew that they may not go home at night. And then the entire community, like I went to the end of the block and I was like, hey, if they come, here's my number. And they joined everybody was in the signal group, and like we were doing our best to protect our neighbors. And that gave me a lot of faith just living in my neighborhood. That's what I love about community too. Community's the ones who have your back. Yes, shout out to our Mexican and Latino friends, Latin friends. And so, yeah, Chicago showed up for each other. And I did this much. I had a full-time job. I had a lot of other stuff going on. Could I have done more? Yeah, but I did what I could at the time to lend a hand. And there isn't anybody, I'm not telling this story because of what I contributed. I contributed because of what everybody else was willing to contribute. And that's what it was about. That was the important thing for me. That's what gave me faith. That's what gave me faith. The fact that everybody else was willing to step in and do something. And I said, I can do something. And that gave me a lot of hope in community. And that's something that that was one of the worst things I ever saw, was the way they treated people. I'd be driving around, and there would be a car that was just abandoned that somebody was driving, and then they pulled them out of the car. There was a woman who was a reporter who, like 3 blocks away from me, was just snatched out of her car. She put on the ground. One of my friends was federally indicted by the U.S. government for peacefully protesting while she was running for Congress. All of that happened. And the only thing, yeah, and Minneapolis too. Oh, Mike, I love, I love my Boricuas, like you. I know you're Puerto Rican. I went to Puerto Rico. Great. The community is what gives me faith. I don't know if I believe in God, or I believe in something larger than myself, but a lot of times all you need for something magical to happen is just someone other than you. That's it. You never know what's going to happen. People willing to help each other out, there's something divine about that. You know? Most of the time, when people say their prayers, you know who shows up for them? Other people. Yeah, ISIS pieces of shit. That's right. That's right, Lucy. Hasta la victoria siempre. So yeah, that was when that's when I started having faith in the community. And here's the thing, is that no one was violent. When young men think this is the thing. Saul Alinsky always says that young men, he wrote Rules for Radicals. He's a University of Chicago professor and I think he was an organizer or a political scientist or something or other. I don't know. But I was reading this book about the Blackstones, which is a Chicago street gang founded by Jeff Fort. And it actually started out as like a growth and development thing, kind of in the vein of the Black Panthers. And then it turned to other means of stuff, like mostly because like the Black Panthers, like the FBI and everybody else was like freaking out about young men of color organizing. Yeah, so Jeff Fort started this thing, and so I was reading this book about Jeff Fort, who had started the street gang, and one thing they said about Saul Alinsky is that he said, young men, when left to their own devices, always revert to fascism with respect to how they organize. And we've seen this time and time again, right? This is not faith. Joining the military, and I'm sure anybody who's in the military would agree with you on this, like, You know, they exploit young men being 18 and stupid. They know that somebody like that is willing to go and, like, stand in front of a charging army as horses bear down on them with a spear and, like, a leather helmet. Can you imagine how much more fucked we would be if natural selection hadn't taken its course? Oh no, I'm the opposite of conservative, but it's not as a reaction to I've completely I don't really have any friends that are I don't have any friends that are MAGA. I don't have any friends that are MAGA. Not because they're MAGA, just because I find them pretty like offensive to be around. Because the thing is, and I don't think I don't know. Like for me, it's this whole like Trump thing is not about politics anymore. It's about values. Okay, it's the same thing as a genocide, right? It's like it's about values. It's about values. It's not about value. Okay, it's about your values as a human being. Yeah, no, 90s conservative. But 90s conservative, Mike, here's the thing they don't tell you about 90s conservatism until you read it in Miss Chico's class. Actually, I've talked with Miss Chico about that. That was my AP US history teacher. She was the GOAT. The thing about, like, Reagan and like, the 90s conservatives and stuff, they were just early stage MAGA. But MAGA was kind of like what they wanted at the end. Like, and it proves they have. I mean, it's you can read the Yeah, I'm not a 2000s Clinton era Democrat. I think that the Clintons are as complicit in all of this as the rest of them, if not more so, because the thing about the Clintons that nobody tells you about is they didn't care when they shipped all those jobs. The thing, like, I've gone over this in the past, but basically, you know, what happened with Reagan, you have the evangelical movement, and then you have what is called the neoliberal economic model, which was brought in by... Oh, that's fucked up, Manuel. I'm sorry. Oh, I think you're joking. Oh, it's F MAGA for life. Okay, I didn't see the F there. Yeah, no, they're blue fast trash. That's right, Lucy. Because the thing about the Clintons is that their only job was to protect capital. It's all they cared about. It's all they cared about. MAGA cares about making it a Handmaid's Tale. I'm sorry to hear about your mom, Manuel. That's fucking awful. And yeah, fuck MAGA, fuck ICE. I fucking hate those guys. They really fucking piss me off. Yeah, no, but the Clintons didn't do anything to stop this. In fact, this doesn't happen without the Clintons. Because here's the thing, right? This is what they don't talk about on CNN, right? What the Clintons did was they created a permission structure for uneducated white men to get angry, because, and all blue collar people for that matter. They always say uneducated white men, but really what they mean is people like blue collar. Blue collar people hate Democrats because Democrats used to be blue collar, and then they sold them the fuck out. Yeah, man. Well, I'm really sorry, man. That's fucked up. Yeah. Oh, what's up, Sule? I was gonna go. I was gonna go to Australia this year, and plans changed. But yeah, I don't think 90s anything was useful. There's no version of what happened in the 90s that was a preventative measure to what happened now. And it's really fucking disappointing. Yeah, everybody, show Manuel some love. Am I selling these drawings post-stream? Hell no. These drawings are, I give these to people if I ever have the opportunity to meet them in real life. And then we have the drawing wall right here that we're filling up. And then I also have some drawings behind me on my cork board that I've made for some of our guests. I made this one for Jamal Bowman when he came on stream to talk about his book. Jamal Bowman's a real one. Make sure you go check out his book. Yeah, exactly. The policy that aided, I would say that it facilitated it. You know, I mean, you don't have the 2008 mortgage crisis without Barney Frank and the Democrats, okay? Because they deregulated the mortgage industry, right? You can't get a subprime loan on a mortgage, and then, you know, you can't get the tranches, which is, does everybody know how the 2008 financial crisis happened? Has everybody here seen The Big Short? A $10, you don't have to buy it, Mike. I'll send you one. Ronald Reagan was completely fucking useless. That's absolutely right. Reaganomics, you can wipe my ass with Reaganomics. I'm making Manuel a drawing here because he got a job as a machinist. Manuel, I did my best here. I had to Google what a machinist does, but I'm trying to do a drill press here. And I'm gonna make it a cool ass drill press. You're gonna like it, I think. It's gonna be cool. So tranche is a tasty word. A tranche is basically, yeah, Reagan destroyed unions. The Clintons helped destroy unions with NAFTA, which was written by George H.W. Bush. The Myth of the American Meritocracy. That's a good name of a song. It's the second best title for a song that you've had, Nick. Racist or Assholes is going to be in the Song Naming Hall of Fame. I think that's the best named song of all time. Pretty great. Got to see him do it live. That was fun. Yeah, so I'm drawing this. That's the thing. That's the other myth that they sold us, which was bullshit. They sold it to Mike too, and probably Nick. They said, "Oh, you shouldn't get a blue collar job because, you know, you should go to college. You should go to college." What a crock of shit. Okay, if you want to go be an accountant, or you want to go be a banker. Or, no, actually, yeah, now watch me hit this ball. If you want to go do, like, you don't need to go to college to be a banker. You know what you need to do? You need to go to a fucking casino. I've only been surrounded by positive communities, and thank you, chat. W's all around. Man, well, we're glad to have you here, my friend. We're honored to have you here. Yeah, no, college is a scam. It is a scam. Like, if you want to be an engineer, you should probably go to college. Like, if you want to go, like, design a building, or if you want to be a doctor, maybe go do that. Republicans have had quite a few scams, Smokey. It was a pretty big scam. Yeah, college is a ripoff, though. It's how they get their hooks in you. It's like the mob, you know? They lend you some money. They say, hey, we'll do you a favor here. Then you graduate college. You realize AI is going to take your job. You realize that you're never going to be a graphic designer. And, man, I dogged that. And then you go into debt, and then you have to have a job, and then you got to get credit cards, and you got to spend more money because the thing that you spent money on, which was your education, which was going to give you money, didn't give you any fucking money. Yeah, no. Nuggies, that's why, yeah, I mean, if you go into debt, you are just shorting the dollar. That's literally what debt is. It's basically just saying, like, I think that it's going to be cheaper for me to pay off this loan tomorrow than it is today. Don't go into debt. That's stupid. But actually, it's not stupid. I'm in debt. What am I fucking talking about? How judgmental of me. That's not fair. My therapist would have a very big problem with the way I just phrased that. Don't go into debt because I told you to. That would be stupid. If you Nah, college in the aughts was a ripoff too, Verway. I didn't go to any classes, and I graduated. Because we had all the tests. We had all the answers to the tests. I didn't learn anything. I learned how, because if you want to go be an artist, just go do art. College is what your parents want you to do. Here's the thing, okay? It's kind of like a wedding, all right? This is the thing. And nothing against marriage. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that are happily married. But this is the thing, okay? Most people that you know, go to trade school. That's right, Smokey. I know you studied Verway. I'm just saying, but you're like an actual, like, you do something that takes skill. I was an economics major because I wanted to be a banker, but I learned more about banking when I was a degenerate gambler than I did when I was in college. Here's the thing. College is like marriage, okay? Yeah, okay, Smokey. See, you were married once. I almost got married. It didn't quite work out that way. But, it's always for the best. Neurology in this economy. Here's the thing, though, right? A marriage is different than a wedding, okay? Just like college is different than an education. Okay? Because wedding is not for the married couple. It's supposed to celebrate them. Oh yeah, AP English debates were legendary. The thing about getting married is that that's about you and the other person. But unless you have a very strong sense of self and boundaries and what you want to do on the special day, then it's for everybody else. And it's mostly for people who have never fucking done a show in their life or never expressed themselves before. They talk about the bridal industrial complex, right? This is what I call it, at least. It's like you got to buy the flowers, you got to buy the shoes, you got to buy all that stuff. And the reason that is because they've sold, specifically to women, this dream of like what the ideal wedding is to the ideal man. And Esther Perel talks a lot about this, who's a psychoanalyst. She's a licensed clinical social worker. She does a lot on like relationship work and attachment styles and shit like that. She talks about how like dating apps is like capitalism wedded with spirituality, and that's what the wedding industry is like, because you're supposed to be committing to someone. That's really what it's all about, People don't focus on the marriage, though. They focus on the wedding, because the wedding is a way for parents and this is the exact same thing as college. I'm going to get to where I was. People like it when you go to college. They like you when you get into a good college. You're studying something good, because then they get to tell all of their friends, oh, my daughter, my son, my non-binary child, they're studying something that's going to make me proud, that's going to make them rich, that's going to show me that I did a good job raising them. And the only way I'm going to get validation for that is by telling you I raised a kid who could do this, right? And this makes somebody who has maybe not been the best. I don't think that any parent feels like they did a good job. I think that would be one of the hardest things about being a parent. I am not a parent, but I think one of the hardest things, if I ever was a parent, is I would always feel like I didn't do enough for my kid. So that's fear, right? That's fear. You're afraid. You're afraid that you are not enough. That's why we always talk about being enough, okay? So if you're a student and you want your parents to think you're enough, you want to go to college. You're going for them. Or if you want to get married, you want your parents to be happy with the wedding because you want to make them proud. You're afraid of losing their love. You're not loving yourself and you're not loving them, because really, any parent just wants their child to be happy, as long as it doesn't, most people don't want it to be at the expense of another kid or another person's child. And there are a lot of people who are selfish as fuck, like Donald Trump, who only want their kids to be happy. That's it. Like, he wants him to be happy, and his kids are an extension of their ego. So a lot of people use college and weddings as an extension of their ego because they have no other way to express themselves, because they were never artists. They never talk about their feelings. They never say that they're proud of their kids. So the more money and opulence and stuff that they do, the better off they look for the people whose opinions matter. But really the only person's opinion who matters is your opinion. Okay? If you're going to college and you want to go to college, then you should go. But if you don't want to go to college, fuck them. Fuck them if they can't take a joke. Go do what you want to do. Okay? Ask Mike. Mike, how many friends we know that aren't here anymore? That died of something or other? A lot. There's a lot of people we went to school with. Did drugs, took their own lives, very sad things. There's a lot of very sad stories at our high school. A lot of very sad stories of people that we went to school with. Yeah, that actually is one of them. In short, status and social narcissistic order, in my own words, plus I learned way more outside of school. Me too. Yeah, they always omit a lot from what they don't teach in history. That's why we're doing a history class a little bit later today. We're going to talk about Martin Luther King, the part of the civil rights movement they don't want you to know about Martin Luther King. It also happens to be the part that he was planning while he was assassinated, which I find very interesting. But we'll talk about that some other time. I'm not big on conspiracies, mostly because the U.S. government has fucked literally everything up. They literally did a fucking group chat for bombing another country. And a lot of people think that the Trump administration is uniquely fucking stupid. It's daily, 3 p.m. Yeah, decent amount of people that we know are gone. May they rest in peace. So once you realize that life doesn't last forever, and that people that you know, then you realize that you can't do it for anybody else except for yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're the one who has to look back on your life and say, you know what? Obviously I wasn't perfect. I learned a lot though, and I did my best, and I don't regret anything. You can't regret something. You can regret something that you do, like if you hurt somebody, I think. But you don't have to regret. Yeah, thanks, chicken nuggies. Like, you can regret hurting someone. You should always regret hurting someone. If you don't regret hurting someone, then you probably should go see a mental health professional. But the only way you regret not doing something in life, the biggest regrets people have at the end of the day is what they didn't do because they were too afraid to do it. And the other thing they regret is not telling somebody that they love them often enough, or not ever having told somebody that they love them. And the other thing is that they wish they were more comfortable in their skin. They wish that they had expressed themselves as their true self more. And, yeah, I think that it can be sad. But once you know that, then all you have to do is just live your truth. Live your truth, queen. That's what I always say. You got to just do what's right for you. And don't do it at the expense of anyone else. Just do it because it's the right thing to do. For you. Okay, enough of that. My TED Talk is over. Let's talk about what I wanted to talk about today. Oh, wait, hang on a second. I do want to do this, okay, we're going to do an instant premiere. 1 second. Let's see. Dear Mike, it's me, Aipac. Dear Mike. 1 second. Sorry, I don't know how to do this because it's my editor. Literally, this is going to be the world premiere of this. Don't clip this. This is a stream exclusive of my, nope, that's not what I want to do either. Shit. One second. We have to look at this and give my editor notes. Wait, guys. I'm going to do one thing. Video file. Here we go. Where the fuck is it? Darn. What is this thing called? Y'all are going to love this, I promise. It's worth it. Okay. So,
Mike, it's me. I know you said you wanted space. It's me, Ape.
okay. So, for those of you who don't know, this is Mike Rogers. He's running against Abdul El Sayed. My friends and I made this silly little ad to make fun of him. So, here we go.
Dear Mike, it's me, Aipac. I know you said you wanted space, but if that's still true, why are you still taking money from our donors? You know how hurtful that gaslighting is to us?
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic
For
voice
15
message
years,
system.
you've told us over and over again that we are your ride or die. And you're still hanging out with us.
You may hang up or press 1 for more
But now
options.
it's like, you text us at 2 a.m. and ask if we have some money. You come over, we hook up, and then you don't even want to go out for breakfast in the morning. Not because you don't enjoy the money and support we give you, but because you just don't want to be seen with us. We know you love us, and we know you support funding crimes against humanity instead of things like universal health care or affordable groceries. We just want one more chance so that we can do it together. Yours, always, Aipac.
I think that's pretty good. I like it. No, my editor's brilliant. You're wrong about that, Fairway. My editor is a G. You like it, Lucy? It's just because we're old, Mike. That's why. Thank you. All right. I'm going to tell him. I stream every day, Mike. And today I'm going to be a little bit shorter because we have a second stream tonight. It's our sports show, Party Crasher Sports. With me, I tend to get a little bit more philosophical. Oh, Meg just told me she wants to do the Martin Luther King history thing with me later this week. So we're going to do that tomorrow. Captions didn't match your monologue. Oh, well, yeah, he's going to fix that. You'll be there for the sports show? Thank you, Nick. Appreciate that. Invite your friends. We're going to be talking about fantasy football, which I know nothing about. I hate sports, but I like the two people that are going to be hosting the show. So I need to be social, y'all. So that's what I'm doing with my life. I'm being social. I'm making like a cool multicolored machine press for you. Oh wait, where's my watercolor cam? What the what? Somebody call the FBI. No way. Next Friday? Yeah, I will be, actually. The stream will be tonight at 8 o'clock. Oh, my phone died. Turns out StreamYard. They took away my watercolor cam. Mossad got me. But I'm cooking on this thing, man. Well, it's going to look good, dude. You're going to be on the wall of fame with Sprout. Doing the machine press, doing multicolored drill press. I don't really know how to draw. I just kind of taught myself. It went like 2 years ago. Laughed my ass off. Jesus Christ loves you. I don't think that's. I don't know, man. Jesus Christ could love me if he was alive, but I'm pretty sure he died like. How long ago? What year is it? 2000? No. He died 1,993 years ago. He might have loved me. Just pretend Jesus loves you? No, I don't. In a parasocial way? Yeah, he loves me in a parasocial way. I love his podcast. Let's go to X and like goof around because I think let me see here. God, Instagram is always such ass. All right, let's go to X. Let's see what we got. Oh, we got the Calloway golf commercial. Remember that? That was like an hour and a half ago. What a journey we've been on. Oh, for those of you who don't follow me on X, this is my Oh, I forgot to show you all. We have another thing that's coming up. Y'all, we got a whole website, whole ass website. It's cool. We have a letterboxd. You still got to update the buttons, but it's cool. God bless you too, Cubano. We'll see. What if that was his like mission work? What if that was his thing? He just came in and told people that Jesus loved you, and then that was it. That was like his day. That would be not a bad. I don't know that was. I think that was a net neutral. Cubano. Twitter is a cesspool of misinformation. That is very true, which is why I am in there making fun of the worst Democratic consultants as Democrat consultant. Neera Tandon is my least favorite person. Oh my God, Alyssa Slotkin bringing straight heat. It's really, really. Oh, here we go. There we go. Hakeem Jeffries met privately with Silicon Valley donors to mend fences. Thank you so much. It's exactly what we need. We're going to be on at 8 p.m. tonight. Oh, it did vanish. Excuse me. Thank you, Sprout. It's insane. This is the worst. Yeah, Chio says Josh the Progressive's awesome. Josh is good people. I've had the privilege of hanging out with him a few times. I think he's going to come on the show sometime, actually. Actually, I was with Chris and Josh at the Brad Lander party. It was fun. It was fun being there in New York when I wish Larkin would have won. That would have been awesome. It would have been awesome if Larkin won. But I'm glad Angie Nixon won. I'm really, really hoping that the how do I come on the show? I'll sidebar with you. Josh is goated. I'll tell him you said that, Sprout. Yeah, if you can support independent journalists or independent media, we're independent media, but Josh is doing great work. Chris is doing great work. You should support Chris. Obviously, you can only, even if you can only support one person in independent media, and we're the new kids on the block, so just being here is enough support for us. We can wait a little bit. No, we've never talked about. You should make whatever you want to make. Make as much crap as you can, especially in times like these. It's only gonna get harder. It's only gonna get harder, folks. It's only gonna get more difficult. Thank you so much. We have 17 people here right now watching. That is a new record, unless we have a friend joining us who's a draw. So the fact that everybody's here just watching me paint watercolors and rant, wax philosophical means a whole lot. That's awesome. Hell yeah. 19 people. Let's go. Like I said, I've had videos that have done very well, quote unquote, but I don't that what do you get out of that? You know, I started doing stand up. That's how like the first thing I ever did creatively is like stand up. Like, you know, I wrote in journals and shit, but that was like the first thing I ever did for an audience was stand up comedy. And you know, I always hated the one thing I hated about the internet is I never got to see anybody's face who was enjoying the work. So 18 people watching me talk is like 100 million people watching me make fun of Donald Trump in a 30-second clip on TikTok. What do you all know about this Warner Brothers merger? I'm hearing that Mark we're not gonna watch my beer commercial again. What's his name? Mark Ruffalo. They were trying to do the Hassan thing to him. Oh, company ruining fruit. When someone calls me hot, but that is the least interesting thing about me. Okay, that's a good thing to pay attention to. Oh, there he is. No, where is it? Kowalski. Let me see here. Mark Ruffalo. I love Mark Ruffalo. He's good people. Let's see here. Mark Ruffalo. The sale of Lucasfilms to Disney was where we began snowballing. Yes, I agree with that statement. It is definitely where things started going downhill. Oh, here we go. Block the merger. So yeah, apparently he's been speaking out against the Warner Brothers Paramount merger, rightfully. Because the Allisons would only gain control of it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go. Nope, this is slop. Hey, John Cusack, Chicago guy, solid. Solid. Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go. Mark Ruffalo denies anti-Semitism charge. I think that the framing of this is disingenuous. It wasn't a charge. He said something anti-Zionist. Yeah, no, I hate that, Mike. Yes, it is like Nestle. It's exactly like Nestle. The Ellisons are like Nestle, but that was big brain. That's a big brain connection there. Good shit. Good shit, Sprout. Okay. Ruffalo is pushing back against the Paramount Skydance after the media giant characterized his anti-merger comments as anti-Semitic. So it sounds like they were anti-merger comments. Ruffalo called the accusation appalling and fundamentally dishonest, criticizing the actions of the Israeli prime minister, a military technology contract, or the executives who supplied is not the same as criticizing Jewish people. This critical and necessary dialogue is then dishonestly framed as being anti-Israel. Yes. And for the record, if you are anti-Semitic and you are here, do not be here. We are not anti-Semitic in this community. We're not about that. Okay? Mike and I grew up in a very diverse community. There were Jews, Muslims, Christians, atheists, agnostics, Hindus, Sikhs, all sorts of different people that grew up in our block, literally, in our neighborhood. What Israel is doing to Palestine right now has nothing to do with religion and everything to do with imperialism, apartheid, and basically the same thing that's been happening in human history for thousands and thousands of years. The only one who is cynically, the only one, it's fucking infuriating to me when somebody like Mark Ruffalo, who, like Dolly Parton, is using his platform to defend people who are defenseless, is being smeared by the biggest. Yes, thank you, Sprout. Make sure anybody who's anti-Semitic is banned. We are anti-Zionist here. We are anti-imperialist here. Okay? Criticize, okay, blah, blah, blah. The dispute traces to a... I mean, this guy literally didn't have to say anything about anything. He's a multimillionaire. Okay? The fact he's putting his neck on the line because he realizes that he's got it pretty good and that there are some people out there that he may be able to save. And he's not doing it to save them. He's doing it because it's the right thing to do. And this is the kind of specious bullshit that they throw at people who are trying to help. The dispute traces to a social media post from the boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement, a Palestinian-led campaign. It's not a Palestinian-led campaign. There are tons of American Jews who are pro-BDS. I know because I went to an anti-BDS, I went to a repeal of the anti-BDS bill in the Illinois State Legislature. There was a hearing. So basically, for those of you who don't know what boycott, divest, and sanction means, that is what in the 1980s we used against South Africa. Far too late, because the Reagan administration loved the apartheid government because they were anti-communist, even though the ANC was not communist. They took support from the Soviet Union, but that's different. It's because America wouldn't help them. So, you know, like Nelson Mandela, that's the ANC. Anyways, boycott, divest, and sanction is what Western governments use against South Africa, the apartheid government of South Africa, to put pressure on the Afrikaans government to stop apartheid. Okay? So in 2015, there was a member of the Trump, who is now an advisor to Trump. In 2015, this guy wrote legislation in the state of Illinois first. He did in the state of Illinois first that said, if a company, boycotts Israel, then the state of Illinois has to divest from that company immediately. And that company will be, and so you can't sanction them, you can't divest, you can't boycott. So, for instance, when Ben and Jerry's refused to sell ice cream on the West Bank in occupied Palestine because of the settlements in 2022 or 2023, the Illinois State Pension Board was forced to sell all of their shares of Unilever stock to punish Ben and Jerry's for exercising their First Amendment right. Because after all, if we learned anything from Citizens United, it is that corporations are people, and that how we spend money or where we sell, capitalism is an expression of speech, is it not? I'm not a lawyer. But so that is the boycott, divest, and sanction movement. There are now laws that are anti-BDS, okay? And I went to a hearing in Illinois because we were trying to repeal this legislation so that you can boycott, divest, and sanction governments that are committing war crimes. And at this expertise hearing, there were not one, not two, but 3 different witnesses that were pro repealing anti-BDS legislation that would allow people like Ben and Jerry's to refuse to sell ice cream to war criminals. And 3 of those people were Jews. One of them was one of the leaders of J Street. Another one lived in Israel and said the Greater Israel Project is the whole reason that this is happening. It has nothing to do with Judaism. And the majority of American Jews are against what Israel is doing in Palestine. So the way that NBC is framing this is bullshit. Now, back to the article. Palestinian-led campaign opposing Israel's occupation, which began in 1967, that Ruffalo had boosted. The post featured comments from Oracle Executive Vice Chair Safra Katz describing the company's assistance to Israel following the October 7th, 2023 Hamas attack. Katz said Oracle undertook efforts it couldn't fully discuss to support the Israeli military, alluding to advanced technology it made available for that purpose. Very important to remember that Section 219 of the NDAA, which is the National Defense Arms Appropriations Bill, I think, something. It's basically the military budget. They're requesting $1.5 trillion. $600 billion of that is earmarked. Section 219 is earmarked for cooperation between Israeli and American military technology development. Who do you think is going to benefit from that? Do you think it's going to be the single biggest donor to the IDF in human history, a.k.a. Larry Ellison, a.k.a. the owner of Oracle? They have to appoint one person. The Department of Defense has to appoint one liaison to coordinate the project. I don't know who it'll be. BDS captioned the clip by accusing Oracle of being complicit in war crimes and crimes against humanity, including apartheid and genocide against Palestinians. Seems accurate. Ruffalo reshared the post to his Instagram story, taking aim at Larry Ellison, who backed his son David Ellison's acquisition of Paramount Global through Skydance Media. Ruffalo argued that Larry Ellison is using Oracle to fund his son David's Warner Brothers acquisition. I think that that's a fair assessment. I think that David Ellison was in the show Flyboys, the movie Flyboys on Apple TV. And that was pretty much his claim to fame. That was about the only thing that qualified him for, making money. So I'm pretty sure that Larry Ellison is backing his play. These really profoundly scary technologies will most likely be merged into one of... Oh, yeah, okay, this is Mark Ruffalo. I'm not going to troll him. My mistake. These really profoundly scary technologies will most likely be merged into one of the largest media conglomerates in the world and one day used on you. Look how Katz revels in what we now have come to see as a genocide, which was built on an apartheid system of oppression powered by Oracle. That's just facts. Ruffalo urged his followers to push back against the Paramount-Warner Brothers merger, arguing it would be catastrophic for our film industry through job losses, higher cable costs, and reduced competition. The merger remains on hold, possibly until June, while a federal judge considers a lawsuit from a coalition of state attorneys general challenging it over antitrust grounds. Paramount responded saying it was troubled when and blah, 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 invoked a purported service of a business dispute. Words like genocide and apartheid applied to a corporate transaction aren't just wrong, they're a bridge too far, and they cheapen the very real suffering those words are meant to describe. Okay, words like apartheid and genocide applied to a corporate transaction aren't just wrong, they're a bridge too far. Okay, why don't we break down that fucking sentence, Paramount? I'm going to need to take a breath on this one because I'm gonna sorry, and if you guys don't find this entertaining or whatever, just let me know if I'm on one or something. I got 8 minutes, so I'm gonna kind of blast off here for 2. Just put a coin in the machine and let me cook. Okay. Oh, by the way, Manuel, I got the drawing done. This is a drill press for you because you're gonna be a machinist. So I made a little multicolored drill press for you, and I'm going to do a little congratulations. Okay, thank you, Nuggies. Okay, so let me let me just get my mic here close to me because I'm really gonna. Okay, Paramount said in a statement, words like genocide and apartheid applied to a corporate transaction aren't just wrong; they're a bridge too far, and they cheapen the very real suffering those words are meant to describe. Genocide and apartheid have been used in corporate transactions for time immemorial. Okay? The Dutch East Indies Company, the West India Trading Company, the United Fruit Company. Okay? All of those companies, those are just 3 companies I can think of off the top of my fucking head that use genocide, apartheid, imprisoning people, enslaving people in the name of corporate transactions and shareholder value. Paramount, you can go fuck yourself. You're a fucking liar. Why don't you put on more shitty Taylor Sheridan movies with like Billy Bob Thornton scratching his ass and talking about wind turbines being evil? You hacks. That's such a bullshit argument. If you've studied history for even 10 minutes, you would know that corporate transactions have always been the backbone of apartheid and genocide. It's absolute horse shit. Look at what the CIA did in the 1980s in Central and South America. Look at anything in the global South. Look at what happened in Congo with Patrice Lumumba. Look at what happened to Mossadegh in Iran. Both of those guys were trying to nationalize resources. You know why they killed Patrice Lumumba in the Congo in the 1960s? It's because there was more uranium deposits in the Congo than anywhere else. That is why the USSR and the United States of America both had horses in that race, except the horses in that race were private companies in the United States. Oh, Duncan, what's up? They did put up a pride flag. We're good. You're right. My bad. I'll back off now, Paramount. Excuse me. Good to have you here, Duncan. I still owe you that drawing. I'm working on it. This doesn't deserve a response in kind, and to be clear, we don't tolerate prejudice of any kind against anyone. Really? You seem to tolerate it against the Palestinian people. In his response Saturday on X, Ruffalo reiterated that his criticism was not directed at Jewish people. He said the merger has real consequences for real people and for the entire country. Scrutinizing the Ellisons, including Oracle's business built on data, surveillance technology, and government contracts, and the serious threat of editorial freedom and the loss of a livelihood for thousands of families is fair and necessary. The $111 billion deal would hand one family control over CNN, HBO, Warner Brothers, backed in part by foreign money whose influence on editorial decisions has never been fully explained to the public. Barry Weiss. Paramount spokesperson said that the company had no further comment. Simon Wiesenwald, a pro-Israel human rights organization, took to social media to commend Paramount for speaking clearly and refusing to allow prejudice to masquerade as political or corporate criticism. Jack Simini, general of the nonprofit Auschwitz Jewish Center Foundation, issued a similar statement. Deserves recognition for confronting anti-Semitic tropes directly and unequivocally. This isn't an fucking Jonathan Greenblatt. This is all. Listen, the Lemkin Genocide Institute, the UN, the ICC, everybody who studies genocide, because that's what their specialty is, say it's a genocide. Okay? Unbelievable. I read this thing that said that a liberal, the only genocide that a liberal is for is the one that's happening right now. They're never the ones that speak out against it while it's happening. Yeah, we definitely need to stop this. We need to fight like hell. Okay, I gotta go upstairs. But yeah, they've been committing genocide since 1948. Actually before then, probably. No, because yeah, when did it started in? The whole thing was going to be at the expense of the Palestinian people. Just read the Balfour Declaration. That's Theodore Herzl. You can read about the Zionist project. All right, this was a very special stream. I'm going to sign off for now. We will be back in 3 hours, which is 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. That is 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 6 o'clock Pacific Time. We've had a very special stream today. Everybody show some love to Manuel, who got a job as a machinist. So we made him a little machinist fuck ice drill press. And a congrats, Manuel. Thank you so much for coming in, Lucy, Sprout, Chowro, Mike Veraway, Blast from the Past, Chicken Nuggies. Thank you all so much, Manuel. We're going to put you on the Hall of Fame. We're going to pick a great spot for you over here. You're going to be, I'll put you next to, I'm going to put you next to Sprout, I think. We'll do that. We're going to take a little break. You said lick the stream. I'll lick the watercolor. Put it up there. Congrats, Manuel. Fuck ice. Free Palestine. Go Birds. I'll see y'all later. 8 o'clock tonight.